Well, we're on the road again in the neighbouring county of Rutland, and we're just about to drive through the town of Uppingham. We're on our way to Rutland Water Egleton Reserve today, and just coming up on the left is the famous Uppingham School. A lot of famous people attended the school, including Rowan Atkinson, Stephen Fry, Johnny Vegas and the TV chef Rick Stein. But as I said, we're paying our first visit for 2018 to Rutland Water Egleton Reserve, and I'll see you there. Okay, here we are just outside the birdwatching centre. I don't think I've ever mentioned this excellent sculpture before. It's by artist Ptolemy Elrington, and it's been created from supermarket shopping trolleys that have been fished out of rivers. And as you can see, the new wetland creation was launched back in 2008 by one of my heroes, Sir David Attenborough. Well, it looks like the bird feeder area has had a bit of a makeover. And weather-wise, it's certainly a much better day than forecast. There's a little bit of blue sky appearing now. So let's head out on the reserve and see what turns up today. Just passing a few grazing Canada geese. Well, it almost, but not quite, has the feel of a spring day today. But recently we've had quite a lot of rain, and you can see there's a lot of water lying on the ground. Well, we're going to concentrate on what we consider to be a couple of the best hides here today. Well, as I said, it is quite mild today, especially for January, but there is a stiff breeze blowing, and you can see that's not time-lapse. That's the actual speed of the clouds scudding across the sky there. Okay, let's see what wildlife we've got on view today. There's about 3 or 4 of these birds. These are curlew. There's a couple more over by the waterline there, and I don't think that's a one-legged curlew. I think the other leg is tucked up in amongst its feathers. We just spotted some movement down in the grass there. It's a male stonechat. We got some decent footage of those the last time we were here back in the autumn 2017 from this hide actually. Now every time we go out, where there's water, you're going to see coot, and normally you wouldn't look twice at them. They're very common birds here in the UK, but got some really interesting activity going on out there at the moment. It's the start of the breeding season. They're establishing territories and looking for mates, and the males are very aggressive birds, and I can see at least maybe 3 or 4 pairs out there having a real good scrap. As you can see, they lean back and then lash out at each other with their feet. As you can see, these are really serious fights, and sometimes they will fight to the death. Normally this happens when one of the birds gets forced under the water and is held down and drowns. Just switch the camera to slow motion and you can see how they fight. The bird on the left there really kicking its opponent with those large feet, with those large splayed toes. And it looks like the bird on the left is going to be the victor here, because the other one on the right there isn't putting up much of a fight at all. We'll say a common bird, but when you see activity like this, especially in slow motion, it's really interesting behaviour. As I said earlier, I can see at least 3 or 4 pairs indulging in this territorial fighting. A couple in the background there, the loser being seen off. Okay, let's move on. The day's getting better and better, more blue sky appearing. And we're going to check out maybe one of the other really good hides here today. I spend an hour or so in this hide, see what comes along. This hide looks out over a scrape and a large expanse of water. Lagoon 3 I think it is, and as usual we've got quite a few birds way out. I can see coot, gadwall, tufted duck, widgeon, pochard, and there is a goldeneye, a male, just dived under, and a great crested grebe. There's quite a fair sized flock of lapwing out there. Unfortunately the lapwing is another species that's declining in the UK. We've got mute swan and cormorant of course, and my highlight of the day is this beautiful drake pintail. There's the drabber female. What a beautiful bird that is, the drake pintail. And looking further out we've got shell duck feeding there in the distance, and a couple of male shoveler resplendent in their full breeding plumage. And a small flock of teal has just flown in, the males looking equally resplendent there. That's almost it. We're going to walk back towards the car park, see if we can see anything else. We've got a few long-tailed tit flitting about in the trees there, and also this dunnock in the winter sunshine there. Well, that's almost it. What an enjoyable morning it's been, and I'll leave you with the aerial display of the lapwing, and I'll see you next time.